Hey guys, what's up? It's the Merc here, and tonight is another episode of The Quest for Gaming at College. As you can tell looking around behind me, I'm not in my dorm room. I had to come home for a little bit of a family matter. I took care of the part that the family really wanted me to be for this evening. I've decided I'm just going to wait until next week to go back to school because I don't know if I can make it back to campus in time tomorrow for a 9:30 class, just to be honest. Now, this video, the only game that I really have to talk about is our D&D game. Why is that? Well, I will tell you why after I talk about D&D, because Dystopia Rising has been an adventure all of its own. Now, for D&D, as I said, also, if I sound funny, I apologize. I do have a cold that's starting. It's a real fancy thing. But as I said, with D&D, our DM decided that at the beginning of the semester, everyone was going to have their own adventure, their own storyline that was going to play out over the semester. Well, last Monday night, after some him-hawing around, as we always do, because for about the first hour of the session, there's nothing serious that happens. There is talking about funny YouTube videos, talking about classes, talking about anything that comes up, because it's what you do. It's the decompression before you get into the game. But after that, we managed to finish the Dwarven Fighters storyline. Now, what that means is he has finished out his magic item. He has a luchador mask, which is pretty hilarious to me, but it made him really awesome at grappling, which in D&D, we are still playing 3.5, I will say that right now. It's not because we don't like 5th, it's just because we don't have the books for 5th. Eventually, I think we'll have the books for 5th, and we will play that edition because it seems like a decent edition. But right now, all the books we have are for 3.5, so that's what we're playing. And in 3.5, grappling in all the campaigns I've played in is not something that I have seen done very often. And Cody, our dwarf player, has completely spec'd his character out to grapple. Yeah, he has melee weapons, but he is a wrestler. He is a plucky little dwarven wrestler through and through. Personally, I think we should get him some armor spikes so that as he's wrestling around with the beasts, his armor can shred into them and deal more damage than it already does. I will say that I thought the campaign with a little story arc for him was well put together. I think we got lucky in the end of the arc because we happened to find the cave that we needed to find in like 2 searches. On the downside, found out that my character, while a beast against anything evil, undead, or especially evil and undead, not so good against things that are neutral and or just in nature in general. I hit like a wet paper bag against neutral things. I hit like a ton of bricks against evil and undead, but that's what happens when you're playing a sainted cleric. So that was our D&D adventure, which I'm interested now. I believe that my character's arc is next, and then we will probably, I think, go to the sorceress, and then our dragon shaman's arc is the last arc in the game. So, moving on to talk about Dystopia Rising. We've played 3 sessions in 6 weeks. And I don't even know... and it's not for lack of trying, because we have tried. It's just junior semester, junior year at college. We all have a lot more on our plates. And sometimes it just seems like we have every intention of sitting down to play the game, and something comes up. Like this week. Tuesday night I couldn't run a game because I was working on a take-home test and like 2 other homework assignments. And tonight I had to come home for this family thing. At other times people have had to go and, other people have had to work on homework assignments. So it's just part of the glitch that is gaming at college, and it's something you learn to work around and live with. Now, we're going to try next week to play Dystopia Rising both Tuesday night and Thursday night, which puts a little bit of pressure on me as the GM because I have to make sure I have solid encounter to run over 2 nights. But we're going to explore combat for the first time this week coming up, so I feel that that'll probably take a good deal of time the first night just because I've never ran combat in that system before. It is not a D20 system like I am used to, so it'll take me some time to wrap my head around it, and it'll definitely take my players some time to wrap their heads around it. It's neither a good thing, it's not a bad thing, it just is what it is, and I'm hoping that once we have it down, it'll be a combat system that is a lot of fun. Like I said, it's something totally new to me. I've played Shadowrun before where you had dice pools, but I didn't run that game. The only game that I've ever run that's combat system was not D20 based was the Warhammer 40k Rogue Dark Heresy and the Warhammer Fantasy roleplay game, which were both percentile. So this will be new to me, and I can already feel that fear of trying to learn something new kicking in. I'm like, if we were only playing D20, it'd be so much easier. But I'm going to make myself work past that and at least give this system a try. That was part of the reason I didn't want to run Shadowrun, is I didn't want to learn that combat system, which looked easy. It was just I didn't want to learn it. And the genre of Shadowrun is, while it's a game that I would like to play as an individual, as a player, it's not a game I would like to run because I don't like coming up with story ideas for cyberpunk, corporate espionage type games. That's just my 2 cents on that, so that nobody thinks I'm against Shadowrun, because I'm not. It's a fun game to play. Aside from that, this week here at home, up in the office, we are probably going to be playing Dystopian Wars. The Star Wars campaign is still on hold, which sadly I don't know when it's going to get put back on play. Hoping maybe next Friday. That would be great. The Lich Lord did get a book specifically for droid characters, which will let me build my character up a little bit. Aside from that, tomorrow or sometime over the weekend, I think the Lich Lord and I are going to be doing our video talking about what we have in store for the month of October. And that should be fun. Hopefully you guys will like it. We're going to kind of hopefully play on that otherworldly kind of supernatural tendency that the month has. I always feel that October, if there is such a thing as a veil between the real world and the supernatural world, it is October when that becomes the thinnest. But anyway, hopefully you guys have liked the video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Give us a comment down below about anything you want to talk about. Share us with your friends. We always appreciate that. And if you like what we're doing here, subscribe. We try to subscribe to everybody that subs to us. And we will see you next time here at Bullshit Games.